You are welcome to the Way Edu Consults, and the subject for consideration is English language. And in this class session, we want to look at the reported speeches. Reported speeches. When someone speaks, it is expected that when that statement or expression or command is to be repeated at another time, either by the same person, but usually by another person, that statement is re-echoed, is being said by another person in order to re-establish the information or to remind the people of what has been said earlier. However, there are two ways of presenting the information. We have direct and indirect method. Both will be considered in this class. We're also going to look at the features of each type of reported speech, and then we're also going to solve some questions together along. What is a reported speech? This is a form of speech used to express what another person has said. Just like I explained earlier, someone has uttered a statement, and then someone wants to re-echo, want to remind us, want to say again, if I should use that simpler term, what someone has said earlier. So there are two types. We have the direct, we have the indirect reported speech. We are going to start with the direct speech or direct reported speech. And this one means saying exactly what someone has said. You can say you are quoting verbatim what someone said earlier. So that's why it is sometimes called quoted speech. So what a person says appear within quotation marks. We are going to demonstrate this as we continue. But also note that there are two clauses in a direct speech. We have what we call reporting clause and then the actual clause. The clause that reports is the reporting clause. What do I mean? You have expression like she said, she said. That she said will be the reporting clause, while what she actually said earlier would not be the actual clause. Let's demonstrate this as we continue in the class. Look at this table displayed on the screen. You have the reporting clause. Have you seen that? The first one you have she said. Then the actual clause, what she actually said earlier. Today's lesson is on presentations. Today's lesson is on presentations. Now look at both. She said is not in a quotation mark. It's not being quoted at all. That is the reporting clause. You are introducing what the person said earlier. And don't also forget there is a comma after the said. And then there is a falling tone. The tone of your expression or your voice goes down. That is the pitch of voice. She said. Then you now raise your voice again. Today's lesson is on presentations. Now, looking at the actual clause, the clause actually being reported, we have it being in quotation marks. Can you see that? Quotation mark after the expressions and before the expression starts. Now, let's look at it in another structure. That actual clause could also come first, while you have the reporting clause coming thereafter. You have something like today's lesson is on presentations. Today's lesson is on presentations. Can you see the punctuation, the quotation marks? Then she said. That is the reporting clause. That one could also come last. Take note that the reporting clause could come first, while the actual clause could come second, and you can also have it the other way round. And you can even break it. She, comma, today's lesson is on presentations. She said, said. She said. There are different expressions whereby you can even break the reporting clause. You have the first part first, then you have the later part after the actual clause or the reported clause itself. You are going to see more examples of that as we progress, even in the class and in subsequent sections. Now, let's move to the indirect speech. This is sometimes called reported speech. Most of the times, what people call reported speech is the indirect, but we have clarified it in this class that reported speech could be either direct or indirect. So, this one doesn't use quotation marks to enclose what the person has said, and it doesn't have to be word for word. Please take note of these features. This is because there are alterations, number one, to the verbs. There will have been some things, some changes, some modifications, some alterations to the verbs, most especially in the tenses. Then there will be alterations or changes made to the pronouns. There will be changes made to the adverbs. in the direct expressions, then that you are changing to the indirect expressions. And these changes, we want to summarize them under 3, which are verb and tense changes. We have pronoun changes. We also have adverb changes. All this will be considered in the subsequent class. Make sure you follow us as we progress in the learning. Thank you, and God bless you.